Nathan, thanks for talking to us. It was a shame that you couldn't meet the supporters, but obviously this might go some way to telling them what you expect over the closed season and going forward.
Yeah, look, we do apologise for that, but we felt that moving forward, something around pre-season just for the start of the season would probably be a little bit more conducive, a little bit more optimistic in terms of things looking forward rather than just looking back. We've done, we feel, vital work here which will stand us in good stead moving forward, and as I said, it's majority of it internal work that we felt was going to change the environment to making it an elite one which was conducive for high performance.
If we can look backwards for a few minutes, a lot of fans would have asked you this: why did you finally decide to join Stoke City?
I mean, look, it's a wonderful club. I was at, and I've repeated it so many times, I was at a wonderful club with Luton. I had a great group of players, good owners, good fans that we'd converted, and we'd all got moving in the right direction. And I had opportunities to leave, but it took a wonderful opportunity for me to decide to leave. And Stoke was that. I met John, and I met Peter, I met Tony. I also know about the history of the club. Then obviously walking around the training ground, the ground, it's a wonderful football club, and it would have taken a real good project to do that. Now, I don't just want to go to a club that just wants to get promoted. I wanted a project. I wanted something that I could get my teeth in, that was going to consume me, that was going to overwhelm me at times, but that the rewards are massive. I needed owners that were, one, going to give me time, two, going to be patient, but also going to buy into what we wanted to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have left. I would have stayed and continued a wonderful journey there. But they painted a picture of what they wanted to achieve. It marries into everything I live for and breathe for, and why I dedicate every single part of my life to things. And I'm very excited about what we can achieve. And it's a wonderful football club. It's got wonderful fans. It's got some wonderful players, good staff right throughout it. And I said, the key people at the football club are real good Stoke people, and I think they've demonstrated that season in, season out.
The recruitment of players at this football club has divided, and we've had conspiracy theories amongst the fans about who buys the players, who signs the players. So I'm not asking you what's happened in the past. From your perspective, what's going to happen going forward with the recruitment?
Well, one thing, there's only one person that buys them, I can tell you that, or one family that buys them. But look, moving forward, it's not going to be massively different in terms of the process to what's gone on before, because it's just, we're going to do it in a way that we feel is right. Now, moving forward, what we do is we have a certain way of playing. We give them key characteristics that we want from a player in a certain position. So we recruit for philosophy. So if we want a fullback, for example, we say, well, the fullback has to be this, has to have these characteristics, has to be athletic, has to be hungry, has to be one of your most potent athletes, has to be able to do this, has to be able to do that. So we give them key characteristics. They then go out and they identify those. I will obviously have a good knowledge of fullbacks that I would like to bring to the club, or any player that I bring to the club, for example, and I'm only using fullbacks as an example. And then we whittle down and watch them and get a top four, and then we embark on signing the first. If not the first, we get the second, third, or the fourth. Hopefully we get the first, and it won't go past that. Now, every manager here gets backed by the owners. They really, really do. The process is to identify, and they get identified, and then the final decision in every single transfer has been the manager, in the past and now. To be honest with you, the owners would have backed me more in January, but I didn't want to spend money that I didn't need to spend. There's already a fantastic squad here in terms of talent. We wanted to bring in real key characters, which we did in terms of Sam Vokes and Danny Barr. And moving forward, yeah, I get total autonomy on those decisions. But there is a process which I'm very, very keen to enhance and to use or to utilise, because it's important, because I can't cover everyone. But what we will do, we won't make mistakes on recruitment here. In the past, they've recruited for the Premier League and to try and add quality and things to the league. So whether recruitment's been good, bad, indifferent, or not quite what the fans have wanted, or whatever, that's in the past. But they were recruiting for a different level. What we're going to recruit is good human beings, wonderful characters, good athletes, and talented footballers. So if all those four, if we tick all four of those boxes, we won't go wrong.
The identity of the football club has, and I say this as a fan, has gone missing in the past 2 or 3 seasons, in most fans' perspective, mine as well. What identity do you want our club to have going forward, the players on the pitch and off the pitch?
I want it to be a working class identity. I want us to identify with the town, with the city, with the place, with the people, with the potteries, all those things. I want us to identify. So they're going to see a Stoke team that identifies with the region it's in. Then we're going to have a playing identity, and that's going to be enhanced week in, week out. We've set wheels in motion now, and whether you can see it or not, there's a fluency coming to the team. I can see it. I see it in training. There's a hard workiness. There's a resilience about it. There's an honesty about the team now. There really, really is, and those marry in everything that's good about Stoke and about the region. But we're going to have a football team that's going to try and excite, that's going to try and win football games, that's going to play on the front foot, that has a real hunger about it, a humility about it, and has a working classness about it that fans are going to identify with and are going to be proud of, because that's what I am. That's my core to my being, is what I am. I came from a working class background, very humble, good upbringing, good morals. I worked hard throughout my career. I'm still doing that. I've had to, because talent wasn't at the forefront of my characteristics. And I know that we're going to give Stoke a wonderful team to be proud of. But they're going to have real good values. It's not just going to be a wonderful footballing side. It's going to be an honest side with good human beings that they can relate to. And that's the best thing about it. Because once you do that, and once you buy, and the whole club buys into everything, and the fans see that, and they get behind it, the place will rock, and it'll be a proud place to manage.
That sounds great to me. You're saying all the right things, and you don't sit on the fence. But we've got a pre-season coming up. I know you've got a busy time beforehand, but in that pre-season, what are you envisaging going to happen?
We have a structured pre-season. It never changes, in terms of what, we've got 6 weeks. I think it's something like 38 days of intense work in terms of double sessions, in terms of physical sessions to get them a very durable group that will set the foundation for them to go all season working hard without injuries, God willing. We then set in place a real tactical element to it, where we work twice a day on tactics and shapes and how we become the best side we can, and put in new players and current players into situations where they're going to be in games week in, week out. We then give them a technical element, so we improve the players throughout that six week period. We improve them. And then we work on their mentality, so that their mentality is a winning mentality. It's an environment that's conducive to winning football matches, to elite performance, to challenging each other, to driving each other on, but while doing it with a smile on their face. All those things we look to implement. And the pre-season is vital, because there's the relatively less pressure of results. We want to win every game in pre-season, because winning breeds winning, the mentality. But we want to make sure that we set in place something that will see us perform for the next 46 weeks, 46 games, 50 games, whatever the season may entail.
The first team keeps you in the job, there's no doubt about that, as it does with all managers and all staff related to the manager. But the youngsters in our squad, have you been happy with those and surprised? You've certainly given some of them a chance to make their name. I've
been pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised, but pleased by the standard here, and we always say that the first team is the tip of the iceberg. It's what you see above the water. On the Saturday, they're the ones that represent the football club, but underneath there has to be a core, strong group, and that support staff, board, fans. There has to be everything, cleaners, and then the academy is part and parcel of that, because the academy can feed the first team. It can be wonderful, because there's nothing better than saying he's one of our own, and that's the common thing now. So if you can produce players for your first team, that's a real good thing, because Stoke is in their being, it's in their core. So they realise the importance of being that all-round Stoke City player, not just footballer, but player and human. But also, it can save you money, and we can mould players from a young age to the player that we want to be, which in turn will save you millions of pounds. So we like to give. It's a place where opportunity and talent meet. If there's enough talent, we will give them the opportunity, but they have to earn that. But we've been really pleased with the level we've had, and obviously we've given debuts to to 2 or 3 or 4 maybe, and even put people, Danny Jarvis in the squad and so on. So this shows us there's a pathway for them, and but we have to make sure that there's a pathway for them while enhancing performance and results. So all those things have to marry. But if they're talented enough, they're hungry enough, they're athletic enough, they will get opportunities as football club.
You've gone on record saying that you'll live and die by your signings, and presumably you're already well underway to looking towards what we can get in for the start of the season. Can you share any of that information with us?
It'd be wrong to share names and stuff, but look, we're well underway in our recruitment process. We were well underway in February, if I'm honest, in terms of identifying, evaluating, watching, reporting on, deciding, moving on to different ones, scrubbing out, all those things we've done. Now you live and die by your recruitment. As a manager, it's essential. It's absolutely essential. It's vital. So yeah, we won't get recruitment wrong. I will recruit for what I need moving forward. So they'll be the tools that I need to do my trade and to apply my trade. And they might be different to what any other manager has. It might be different to what they've been used to here. But they were what I need to be successful. There's already a real good core squad here that have underachieved for whatever reason, but that's the thing we've really made inroads in, so that now there's a platform here so that they won't underachieve. There's no excuses for them to underachieve, and we will give them now a platform, and that will be further honed in the next six weeks before we come back for pre-season. That will be further. We have meetings today with key staff and core staff and support staff, because everyone has to buy into what we do. And if there's a positivity around the place and everyone's buying into what we want to do, then the only thing is good times ahead, and that's what we have to do. Then recruitment's the final sort of piece in the jigsaw, and then we have to put all those pieces together in pre-season and through next season to obtain a successful one.
You tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself, which I appreciate is good up to a point. And when I say pressure, I mean I promise you this, I promise you that. The Stoke fans have been a little bit negative in the last couple of seasons because they've not seen what they wanted. How can they really help going forward? Players can compartmentalise a season, forget about it and move forward. The fans don't do that. So what's your message to the fans?
Well, first of all, the reason I can say I promise them certain things, I can only promise them what I've been used to doing. That these methods I use have been successful. I've been successful, relatively successful at certain levels. Now we've stepped up, but the principles are exactly the same. Now we have to put things in place so that I can then implement and say, no, we will. And what we will do, I can promise them, is they'll have a team they can be proud of, a team that will work hard, a team that will graft, a team that will try to win football matches. We've tried to win football matches at the minute. We really have. We've not sat back in any game. We haven't. At times we get pinned back because we're not quite the team we need to be. But as I think we can see in recent weeks, we've been a team that's controlled games, that's been on the front foot. That yes, we've missed opportunities to have won games, but the process is there. Now, with more work, with better personnel, different personnel, I know that we can achieve what we want to do. So all I say to the fans is, and I've said it on a number of occasions, 3 years down the line, they'll have a team that they love, and teams that God willing will be successful, will be a Premier League team and so on. Now if they start supporting then, anyone can do that. But it'd be really good if they get behind it now and they'll be part of the process. And they say about fans being the 12th man. Oh yeah, we only have 20 players, 20 outfield players, 3 goalkeepers in our squad. Well, we'll accept the 24th, which will be the fans. So get them to buy into it now. And if they cannot see anything, then I understand frustrations. But I've seen lots of things. I'm not naive because I work tirelessly. And I know I've seen shoots of real positivity. I've seen a basis and a groundwork where there's real good things going to happen. And we've had top players buying into what we've done, top players really positive about the structure that we're using, the training that we do. So we're going to be a good side. Now buy into it now, get behind it, and I promise you we won't let you down. I promise you we will not let you down if you get behind us. And then, once we do achieve those things, and you've been part of the process right from the start, that's going to be a good feeling for them. That's going to be a good feeling for them if they do that, because I promise you, that's where we're going to end up. And if they want to be part of that journey, they can be a part of that journey right from the off.
I'd just like to ask you for myself, and I'm sure a lot of other fans would say the same. Can we do it before 3 years, do you think?
When I say 3 years, I say the place will be. Now, I used that timescale at my previous club. But in that time, we were the second highest scorers in Britain, fourth highest scorers in Europe, playing a brand of football that wasn't seen at that level, that club hadn't been seen since the likes of David Plea. We filled the ground with just over 10,000 when they were only getting 6.5. We produced young players that they hadn't been doing for years and years and years and years, and we were bringing in players, recruiting them, developing them. So over that 3 years, we had a lot of success. So I'm not saying it's going to take 3 years to get the one bit of success. What I'm saying is, in my time, my timescale that I used, because it was my previous club, in 3 years we did masses of work. But it started with this type of work. And for the first 4 months, no one would have envisaged what was going to happen in the next 3 or next 2.5. What they did was they hoped, like Stoke fans are hoping now, but we were convinced what we were going to do once we got the right, which we made, and we improved every summer, improved every transfer window. We kept working with them. And in the 2.5 years after the initial period, it was a wonderfully successful time for my previous club. And now we're playing at the same level. So in 3 years ago, where Stoke and Luton were different worlds. And now they're in the same place. Now I would like to do that with Stoke. And suddenly, if we have that rapid rise, we'll be playing in Europe, not just doing things well, So hopefully we can do that. It's going to be difficult because it's a championship and thing. But if we have the same level of development that I did at my previous club, bearing in mind the timescales, then in 3 years' time we'll be a wonderful place.
Well, before we let you go, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time, and I know you're very, very busy. You got quite a busy summer yourself, haven't you, on a personal level?
Well, once we get the recruitment and things, so yeah, I'm getting married in the summer, which they say the 3 most stressful things to do is to move house, to change job, and to get married. Well, I've done all 3 since January the 6th. I've done all 3. So it's been a tough time, and I said my fiancée is key to what I do. She puts up with everything. She keeps everything together. She allows me to work 12.5 hours a day, and then the home and everything else to run. She's like a PA. She's like everything to me, really.
Most women are like that,
Yeah, I know, but I've managed to, I've only fallen in love with one. So that's her. So she does brilliant for me. And look, I sort of got engaged last February, so just under a year and a half ago. So it's been months of planning, and it's just been like a military operation. But she's done most of it. I've now joined the party, if you like, and just for the good bits now. But no, look, I'm looking forward to the day. I'm looking forward to obviously getting married. But looking forward to getting all people that we care about in one place, which is something that I only envisage ever doing once, and I guarantee you I'll only do it once. Either way, but no, I'm looking forward to the day, and as I said, it's a big personal thing, and it was important that we got the work done here, because it would have been a far easier thing to stay at our old club, to get promoted, to be celebrated for the month of May, then go and carrying that on into June and so on. But we embarked on something, and she embarked on that with me, and was fully behind my decision. It was being right with me with all the problems we've had in terms of the social media side and the personal insults and stuff we've had, and she's taken that on board, and it's been a frightening time for her. So she's a rock for me, and someone that I'm very privileged to be married.